So one of our favorite questions to ask NFL stars, current players, when they come on our show or are in an interview, we say, who did you look up to? Who's your guy? Who were you sitting there late night YouTubing through high school, through college, through your pro days? And it's always a really fun answer. So that's why this is awesome. It's part of the NFL 100 celebration. Current NFL players inviting NFL legends, guys they looked up to, for film sessions. It's called the NFL Network Original Series Generations, and this week Giants Pro Bowl running back Saquon Barkley asks to hang out with former Lions Hall of Fame running back Barry Sanders. Take a look.
You're just toying with him, huh?
Yeah, I'm just trying to play with him a little bit. It's just one of those times where you're able to spin a guy around. You're facing one defender, but you always have to be thinking about the next guy. You're in traffic, bodies are everywhere. You're just reading and reacting. Those big guys chasing you, they hate when you cut it back like that. Yeah, that means they have to run extra, you know, and they don't want to run like that. This play right here, I'm thinking, okay, you just get down, get a few yards, and live to see the next play, and I bounce off the guy. I was just as surprised as everyone that I scored on that. One of the things that you always think about is, okay, when they get to the NFL, how are they going to run between the tackles, right? And so you just kind of showed us right there, cut it outside. He's looking like, what just happened?
You can see that full episode, NFL 100 Generations, presented by Genesis, featuring Saquon Barkley and Barry Sanders, tuning in tonight to NFL Game Day Kickoff at 6 Eastern right here on NFL Network. And Kyle and I got to see both of them together, and you could just tell the, not nervousness, but just the respect that Saquon had around Barry Sanders.
100%, and I like it because Saquon did not grow up with Barry Sanders. He's so young that he was not even alive for Barry's prime. It says NFL 100 when you know the guys before you were born, too. Huge respect. I like it.
A lot of caps here on the table. It's time for All Caps.
All Caps.
New era. We have every cap on the table that is playing this week. 4 teams on a bye. Grab the cap of the team who you think will be the biggest surprise. Who is surprising us in week 6?
Let's see what we got here.
All right.
What's up, Trace?
Who are this week's Colts, if you will?
I fasted yesterday.
Hey, well, you look great.
Hey, thanks. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here. I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew. They play the New Orleans Saints. Saints haven't lost since Teddy Bridgewater took over. And I think finally everyone's like, all right, they can win with Teddy, and Drew Brees will be back earlier than expected, and the Saints are off and away. Gardner Minshew lost last week against the Panthers, but no fault of his own. Gardner Minshew was awesome in that Panthers game. If you missed this, Minshew also had a breakout game, and it wasn't just managing the game and handing the ball off to Fournette. He completed the ball. He had more than 300 yards passing. He had 2 touchdowns. He also ran the ball for 42 yards. Jaguars play a Saints team that everybody has atop the NFC right now. Don't be shocked if Gardner Minshew has a rabbit up his sleeve here. This guy can play. And if rabbit up his sleeve is the reference I'll go with, whatever that means. I'm a magician. Rabbit out of his hat.
Are you eating yet? Are you lighting the head?
It's very Jason Witten-esque. I'm going to go with the Jaguars and Gardner Minshew, maybe surprising the Saints this weekend.
All right, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. This is very simple to me. Take it back to 2017. Deshaun Watson, pick number 12 overall. Just 2 picks after Pat Mahomes. And what do we hear about Deshaun Watson his entire life, but especially in college, that he shined the biggest on the biggest stage. And this is one of those games. So as far as surprising, don't be surprised if this is the game of the year. Pat Mahomes, yes, the game of the year. Yeah, Pat Mahomes coming off a game where he didn't look like himself.
I hear you.
People are starting to sit here and say, well, you know, Pat Mahomes just doesn't have it. And then you have Deshaun Watson coming off a game where he could be our league MVP. So there might be a mutual appreciation for each other's skill set, but don't sleep for a second that these guys are going to take each other out. And because of that motivation, this could be the best game of the week and the best game of the year.
All right, we're looking for a surprise. No matter what I've learned. Yeah, wrap it up my sleeve.
Wrap it up the sleeve.
Pigeon or something like that. We got to ask TJ Gagliardi. But I'm going to go here. Do you know the Sunday Night Football game is a Dignity Health Sports Park?
Woo!
It is.
Where they're 1 and 2.
They're 1 and 2, and they have to clear off the field because I think there's celebrity boxing and then ski loft. The Chargers.
Chargers, okay.
Yes.
No diggity?
Right. No. Dignity Health, which is tough for the Chargers. Dignity Health because sometimes they've had neither. But I think the Steelers, guys, if all times going to Dignity Health Sports Park, and yes, in a year of Minshews and Kyle Allens, why not Devlin Hodges? Why the hell not, right? If ever Devlin Hodges was going to Devlin Hodges' way to a win against the Chargers, it would be this season. And on a serious note, The reaction the Steelers had when Mason Rudolph went down was extremely poignant, extremely emotional. I think they're going to be playing for a lot this week, not only for Mason Rudolph, but listen, there's about 29 organizations in the league, and then there's 3 that are a different standard. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to sit here and limp to 3-13. I think they're playing a very banged-up Chargers team, and I think Devlin Hodges is going to go into Dignity Health Sports Park and win.
They just put Mike Pouncey on IR yesterday. A lot of
crazy
injuries
what they have.
for
No
that
dignity,
Chargers
no
squad.
doubt.
That's the Sunday night game. Love that. We have some big matchups on the slate for Week 6. Grab not 1 cap, but 2.
Okay.
Grab the pair of caps for the games and the matchup that has the highest stakes, in your opinion.
All right.
IMO.
Okay, all caps. Isn't the cool thing to say no cap?
Yeah,
Isn't
no
that the
cap.
thing? That's a different segment. What are you doing?
I was reaching for the hat, man.
Don't do it to me, Nate, because I'll let you. I'm not like Peter. I'm looking for it.
All right,
Peter's
Trey.
weird with touching.
What do you got,
Not
Trey?
me.
I'm going with the Eagles and the Vikings here.
Okay.
I don't know how do you do this. How do you
Put
do
them
2
both on.
hats? Put them both on. All right, start with the Eagles. They're suddenly hot. They've got things clicking here. They look
like
great. This is a good look.
don't know what's
all green.
happening.
And then they beat the Packers in Lambeau, came back, took care of the
boy.
Jets. But the Vikings team is fascinating to me, guys. Since 2018, the Vikings are 1-8-1 against teams with winning records. So they've gotten their victories with Kirk Cousins over teams that haven't been good. Now you face a team that is legitimately good. Can Kirk Cousins come back off this game where we thought we silenced critics and win one against a red-hot Eagles team? This was, of course, the NFC Championship a few years ago, and these guys absolutely walloped these guys. Wow. These guys embarrassed these guys. These guys knocked off these guys. Eagles, Vikings, 2 hats.
It's a hat puppet show. I mean,
Peter.
I don't know.
Peter's a little off today. You weren't here yesterday and you were not eating. You are not yourself. What is going on? I know what you just said,
You have
Peter.
eaten.
I mean,
There's residual damage, I think. Normally, Peter, you eat a lot. I think that day off, I don't know. Peter, you're loopy today.
I'll mess you up. All right.
I think I'm pretty sharp.
So here we go.
Okay, speaking of loopy.
I think I'm pretty sharp, Strager says. All right, here we are. So for me, this is a game of who's better. Just think about this for a second. You have the 49ers versus the Rams.
Serious football talk right now.
Serious football talk. Take me serious. This is a game of who's better. Let me break this down for you. Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Who had pretty much Sean McVay under his wing when they were in Washington together.
Sure.
Who's a better coach? $200 million quarterbacks who get broke off, who are constantly doubted and criticized. Who is a better QB, Jared Goff or Jimmy Garoppolo? Better running back? Yes, I'm having this conversation. Is it Matt Breida or Todd Gurley? How about the defensive line? The defensive line for those 49ers is phenomenal.
This is the game.
And we know what Aaron Donald brings to the table. Who's better? How about a shift in power in the NFC West? I know that the Seahawks are doing their thing, but you have to respect the Rams for who they were last year, and you have to respect the 49ers for who they are this year. This is a game of who's better.
Okay.
And I think Garoppolo's going to have to pass in this one. So I'm really excited to see him finally go downfield and hit that Hadouken.
I hope so. We've been waiting for that. I see a couple good NFC teams. A couple good NFC teams are going to be in the mix. The question about stakes, my friends, I'm going to put this on and I'm going to put this on because this game could reverberate for months. This game could reverberate to Las Vegas for the 2020 NFL Draft. Did you see the Tua play the college football game last time against Ole Miss?
Tua.
Did you see the Tua? Because I guarantee both these teams saw the Tua, and whoever wins this game might not get to draft the Tua, and I'm including Washington in that despite having Haskins. Do you not think there's a realistic possibility that the Redskins end up with the #1 pick and Dwayne Haskins gets Josh Rosen? It's possible. Believe me, they're going to have a new coach. He'll probably be offensive. Tua is a marvel. I would recommend watching him on Saturday. It's about a 3:30 kickoff because I guarantee both these teams will. This is the Tua Bowl. Don't put up no brick. Those games are fine. There's good games. Stakes, this could dictate the next 10 years.
Or put up a brick.
I'm looking at the Chiefs, too. That was all caps, by the way. The Chiefs, are they figured out? Is there a blueprint? Do defenses know what's up? You control the clock. Can everybody do that? We're going to get into the Chiefs after this and Patrick Mahomes. And will Le'Veon Bell live up to his fantasy hype?
All right, it's time to announce the way to play recipient. And this honor goes to a player who exemplified proper technique in Week 5. The winner receives a personal letter from the commissioner as well as a $2,500 donation in the player's name to a high school or youth program of his choice. The winner of this week is a safety, our guy, from the Skull Vikes, Harrison Smith. All right. Now let me show you. You can check out Harrison Smith and how he is doing it the right way. Here's pure clinic tape. I want you to pay attention to him at safety. He's highlighted right here. Evan Ingram up the middle of the field, and boom! Now from an angle at the all-22 position, you're not going to pay attention to it. Now watch this again. You'll see his helmet on the outside, not on the inside, not attacking the middle of his pads. See his helmet on the left hip side, keeping his chin up, and then driving the defender into the ground. Evan Ingram stays healthy. Harrison Smith keeps his head out of chaos. That way guys are protected. There's ways to make a big play without having a big injury. Harrison Smith, one of those guys that have done it on a high level for so long. Hammer, come here for a second. I want to show the people how it's done.
Come on, baby.
Can we get a ball thrown? And then, boom! You weren't supposed to catch it, man. Watch out, get out of here.
Punch him.
But that's how you do it, man. You listen, you hit, you keep your chin up and your helmet out of it, and then you wrap up after that. That right there is your way to play winner. Congrats to Harrison Smith on the award, $2,500 donation. That will be made in his name to a high school youth program of his choice. And that right there is week 5. We are going to take it to week 6 next week. But until then, I'll see you guys later. But right now, I want to toss it to my guy, Will Selva, out in L.A. Hey, Will, what's up, baby?
What's up, Nate? What's going on, man? Way to break it down, my friend. Lots of news to get to, and around we go with the quarterback carousel in D.C. Interim head coach Bill Callahan reportedly making his decision for Sunday. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting the Redskins are expecting Case Keenum to be under center against the Dolphins. Keenum dealing with a foot injury. This move means Colt McCoy is returning to the bench. As for rookie Dwayne Haskins, Callahan says he's not an option to start. Josh Rosen is apparently the only option to start in Miami. Head coach Brian Flores declaring Rosen the starter for the rest of the season. Flores believes Rosen needs to play and develop. He started the last 2 games for the Finns, both of them blowouts. We've now gotten to the bottom of this whole Dapgate between 49ers corner Richard Sherman and Browns QB Baker Mayfield. Sherman plans on apologizing Mayfield for creating a controversy over their pregame interaction on Monday night. He made the admission on the Pat McAfee show. Sherman telling our Mike Silver Mayfield did not shake his hand before the coin toss, but various videos showed that wasn't the case. Mayfield happy to be vindicated.
I know what I did, but that's, the one time the camera and something recording me is, gone in my favor.
Did you in any way intend to snub him? Were you aware?
No, I respect him, who he is as a player. He's a great player, has been for a while. In no way did I mean it like that.
And to give Mayfield credit, he handled it like a pro, and that would be a way that Tom Brady would like to handle a situation like that. Speaking of, tomorrow on NFL 100 Roundtables, some of the greatest defensive backs to ever play the game come together to celebrate the NFL's 100th season, and we're invited to listen in on all of it. In this sneak peek, the greatest DBs discuss a QB who has been called the greatest of all time.